Hello, today we are going to talk about one of the many theories or models that a couple counselor may use to view the work that they would do with a couple. The one we're focusing on today is emotionally focused theory, and this one was fronted by Sue Johnson. It's been developed, can be used for individuals or couples, and we're going to get into some key concepts, what change looks like through this lens, and some other important things to know.
So starting with some key concepts of EFT, EFT mostly focuses on the emotions that are occurring between partners in a relationship. EFT also really focuses on the couple's interactions and the context of the partners' impact on one another. So with that, EFT kind of integrates a few different other theories. So they'll integrate attachment theory with systemic and humanistic and experiential approaches. And so EFT does not solely focus on the individualistic orientation, but really the attachment between partners. And something that's really important about EFT is that one of their main ideas is that emotion shapes the meaning people make, and it's also has precedence in driving our behaviors. And so that's why the word emotionally focused therapy is kind of explains the title of that theory, because emotion is one of the top priorities that an EFT counselor would kind of work on. And so EFT also focuses on the impact between individuals, internal and external environments. So that would be given the context again that surround how the couple is interacting. Another couple main ideas that I think are important for EFT, or that are important in EFT, is that they say that everything that happens between partners is essentially about how important they are to one another, however effective or ineffective their attempts might be to express this. So I think that's a really important main idea of EFT, just because it gets to the underlying emotions that are occurring in a couple's relationship. And so with that perspective in mind, EFT really focuses on the process that's occurring between partners underneath the content. And so given that, EFT also focuses on how emotion is both the target and the agent of change in creating corrective emotional experiences.
Yeah, and then some ways that this might present in your work together with a counselor is maybe doing a love map, which would be like documenting all the important places or things in your relationship that occurred. And it's really just about how connected and how important you are to each other and how to create safe bonds. So to do this, the way to that change may go, that's visualized through EFT, is the de-escalation phase. So this just identifies the cycle that you and your partner may be in, not necessarily a fault of one or another. It's just that there's reactions to things in the relationship and it creates a cycle and a pattern. So it's basically just identifying that and externalizing that from the couple. And then identifying some different roles that you may take in the relationship. For example, if one person tends to withdraw as a coping mechanism or just as a response to the other partner, and the other who may do the opposite and pursue the other. So that's just how your counselor may view the relationship as a whole if they're using EFT. The end goal is the stage 3 consolidation, and so that just means that there is a common ground that's founded, and whoever withdraws is usually pursuing, and whoever does the opposite, who usually pursues, is able to take a step back, and it could be an even playing ground all around. So yeah, the goal is just to create future love story and some rituals to just keep the love alive. And overall, the way that the counselor may do this is they have some roles, and Alex is going to get into what that looks like to help a couple engage in change.
Right. So the counselor's role, according to EFT, is to build an alliance with the couple through empathy. And then the counselor also really seeks to identify those negative cycles and attachment positions that the couple is showing. So, for example, they might identify which partner might be withdrawing and which partner might be the pursuing partner. And then lastly, just a really key role of the counselor and EFT is to act as a process consultant. As I've mentioned earlier, since EFT is really about the process that's occurring underneath the content of what couples are presenting with, the counselor will offer suggestions of those underlying dynamics that are occurring between partners so that they can kind of see them through a new perspective. And so then once those negative cycles are identified, new patterns and interactions of change can be introduced to the couple.
And lastly, EFT is just one of many. Another notable one would be the Gottmans and how they visualize couples. So there's many different ones. This is just one we specifically decided to pinpoint today. Lastly, it's so important that it's not just what theory that the counselor is using, but the motivation for change and the motivation for showing up to couples counseling. And there's so many other aspects that is important for change and success in couples counseling. So thank you so much.